What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of No Reserves Radio. And honestly, I'm just tired and dumbfounded. I don't understand how the Seahawks won yesterday. I don't get it. I guess the Seahawks used all 9 of their lives against the Rams. So I guess they're cooked for the playoffs. Alex, how you doing?
Go, Ox, go. Go, Ox, go. Let's go. What's going on, guys? How are you? Yeah, I'm elated about that win. Things weren't looking too nice at some point in there. A lot of hectic mistakes
At some
by
at
by
some point,
Darnold
try
at
like
points.
2/3 of the fucking game.
Yes, that would be accurate. And the Rams, I mean, they were just taking victory laps after victory laps. They were smiling on the sidelines because they thought they had it won. Simple as. But then Rashid Shaheed happens. He scores a punt return touchdown. And then it's like, okay, we can get this moving. I mean, Kenneth Walker, one of the best games that he had this season. Every time I watched him touch the football, which was 14 times this game, I was like, this is a football war crime that we ever give touches to Charbonnet, aka Joy Bell 2.0, as people know. There was a play in there in which we converted, I believe it was in the second quarter, in which he converted the first third and 16 or something like that, in which he got tackled. He managed to bounce from the tackle, gain the extra yardage, get the first down, and it's just like Charbonnet would have just been tackled there, and then that's gone. So hey, I hope wherever he goes next year, the people in there appreciate him more than what we do. This guy is absolutely electric. And then, I mean, you said that for like 3.5 quarters, basically, we were struggling. But then in the fourth quarter and overtime, my guy, Sammy Biscuits, Sam Darnold, 87%, 86.7% adjusted completed percentage, 147 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 104.5 passer rating. My guy just came out there and played ball. So, Sammy Biscuits, what a win for Sammy.
I still don't understand. I still don't understand how they won that game. I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't
We
get
won
it.
with the best 2-point conversion ever. So what do you want to say?
That was yeah. I mean, yeah, that was a thing too. Like I just everything went your way, I guess.
Right. This team has some sneaky aura in them. I'll tell you that much.
Sneaky aura.
I think this team is sneakily up there as one of the best in the league. People don't want to give them credit for right now. But hey, this is the full Sam Darnold experience, which is Sam Darnold is either a top 5 QB in the league or is the worst QB that you've ever seen. That's basically it. You got both sides of it. Like fourth quarter and overtime, best QB in the league. Top 5 guy in the league, for sure. The rest of the game looked like absolute shit. The worst QB you've ever seen. But I think the game plan was also quite different to start. We seemed like we really wanted to limit any sort of turnovers. We wanted to stay in the game. The defense was keeping us in the game for most of it. Apart from a key third down conversion. Yes, but those came in at a time in which we were trying to be a bit more aggressive. At least the second one. I believe the first one was still in the first half, and it was a good anticipation play. But the second one came when we were being more aggressive. So, and in the fourth quarter slash OT. But for the most part, we were running the football. Even in longer downs, we were running the football. We were doing the quick stuff. The first quarter, we really looked rough because he wasn't being able to deal with pressure. But after that, he settled down a bit. The defense managed to lock them up as well quite a bit. And hey, it's a big win. It's a big win for us. And right now, we basically need either the Niners to drop a game and we clear, or just clear our way. Like, we control our own destiny at this point to be the number 1 seed in the NFL. So, in the NFC, that is. So,
I just don't understand.
Massive win for my guys. Coach McDonald. Heck of a coach. Saw the post-game interview. Guy was hyped for the team. Guy was hyped for all of them. JSN gave everyone a scare that was in the playoffs for their fantasy teams, but he managed to come true. That touchdown in the end really bailed us, JSN owners.
Yeah, I imagine it did. I don't get it.
At some point, I believe you dropped a message. I haven't checked yet the time of the message, but maybe that was when the comeback started. You dropped me a message in there saying Sam Darnold versus top teams still looks like old Sam Darnold. And then my boy.
But he did.
Okay, so the Rams are not a top team from the fourth quarter on. I believe that's what you're saying, Angelo.
I understand you play 4 quarters, but Sam Darnold for the vast majority of that game looked absolutely like...
In this case, we almost played 5 quarters. And when it mattered, he was there versus a good team. Now he has that win. Now everyone can shut up about the, oh my God, you guys have terrible records versus playoff teams. Nah. We just beat the Rams, man. Everyone was talking about the Rams, the Rams this, the Rams that. The Rams are going to the Super Bowl. And we handled them. Simple as.
I think it's more likely than not the Rams just beat themselves.
Yeah, excuses. In my book, those are all excuses, buddy. Didn't we get to play? Because we scored more points. I mean, you're basically taking away all the credit that this team put up in the end of the game. Like, the Rams didn't make any turnovers to lose the football. I mean, we scored a kick to return touchdown, and then they just couldn't move the football because we made great second half adjustments on defense. We were managing to stop them. We were managing to get third down stops that were missing in the first half. And they just really couldn't finish off the game. They gave us a chance to come back in it, and Sam got us back in it.
Don't know how much I trust this team.
Hey, the number 1 seed in the NFL, in the NFC. That's how much you need to trust them.
So not a lot?
You need to trust them a lot. This is not the Eagles, buddy. I don't know what you were talking about.
The Eagles won a championship!
Yes, last year they won a championship, sure. I don't even know. You sent me a comment. If this was the Eagles, I mean, Jalen Hurts can't do this type of crap. Like, Jalen Hurts cannot put the team on his back on the fourth quarter to win a game. So, I don't know what's the comparison here. Plus, I'll tell you what. If the Eagles go to Seattle, do you know when was the last time the Eagles won in Seattle?
When's the last time the Eagles won in Seattle?
Do you want to take a guess? I made you the question.
2015.
They haven't won in Seattle since... Let me just double check my math here. They haven't won in Seattle since 2008, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, come on now, Eagles.
I would still pick the Eagles.
Come to Lumen Field and get destroyed. That crappy ass team. Try to win a playoff game first because we have the bye and we need to be waiting for you.
Try to win a playoff game first.
Try to get some of those before you go to Lumen Field. See if you can do something.
This guy with this beat the Rams, and now suddenly everything's great. You know, Sam Darnold didn't look bad for 3 quarters of a game.
Beat the team that everyone was starting going to the Super Bowl. and all of a sudden everything looks great. Things were looking great before. In the first game, I told you, when the first game happened, I was positive. We lost that game, but I was in a positive mood because I thought for sure we would beat them in Lumen. Because the way that game went, we could have played them. If we played that game 10 times, we probably win 8 of those. So I was confident that my team could handle with the Rams. And hey, they just proved me right. They could, and they beat the Rams.
They could, and they beat the Rams. This is disgusting.
Hey, instead of fly, Eagles fly, try fly, ox fly, baby. Let's go.
Fly, Hawks, fly.
Let's go. Okay. Other than that, though, because I don't want to bask too much in this glory. I'm a guy that doesn't need all of that. I already basked in all of the glory that I needed. Now it's time to move on. Talk about other things, man. Other things in life. Do you want to go straight into the big thing here? The bet that we have that is no longer a bet.
We can, might as well.
So what happened, Angelo? Tell me. What happened to your Bengals?
You're the one who. We played like I knew we could. We always were going to play. Like
I tried to give you hope. I played out the scenarios
you've
perfectly.
never given me hope.
I gave you enough hope to bet this with me. To go on this journey that would require a lot of things to happen. It ended being a journey of failure, sure. But, I mean, we had hope there. For a minute there, everything looked like it could have happened. You know? For a minute there, I lost myself. Thinking,
Was it fun?
Hey, no. When reality came back in, and I was... because I never lost hope that you guys might have beat the Ravens, even when you guys were down 14 or were down 20, 1, I think. I didn't lose hope. I was thinking, hey, we're a play away. Burrow got you guys into the red zone. You guys were down 14-0, if I'm not mistaken, or 17-0. You were inside of the 10. I was thinking, hey, Burrow's going to score this. They're going to turn this around. They're going to win this game. And then the pick six happens. And then it's like, oh, buddy. It's over.
That was the thing. The pick six.
Yeah, I thought it was sealed there. That's when I said, okay, it's over.
Interesting.
You thought it was before?
Yeah.
You score in that play and you have zero hope that you'd win. If you score in that trap.
I knew it was over when it was 0-0 in the second quarter. Like,
oh, so it's like either we score massively or this defense is gonna just not work out.
Was it wrong? Was it wrong?
Hey, no, it was not wrong for sure. The thing that kind of intrigues me is like, this is maybe one of the worst offensive performances that I've seen from the Bengals. Because even when the team is like struggling, at least the offense gets going. And you guys ran 71 plays, only got 297 net yards, only averaged 4.2 yards per play. And your average EPA per play was minus 0.32. So that shocked me. Because even if you guys lost, I would have imagined it's like a field goal game in the end. But no, it was just like plain embarrassment. So, do you think Burrow goes anywhere? Because that's the big talking point right now.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't he? Like, this team is just bad. Like, and here's the thing that I know during the draft, it was a huge talking point of Penei Sewell versus Jamar Chase. And, you know, what side you're on, you know what side I'm on. But, like, I think that the whole conversation speaks to something greater, and it's that outside of wide receivers, do the Bengals really have a history of, like, constructing a roster well? Because
The
the
Super Bowl season,
we had a great defense. Yeah.
you managed to build
We
up the
we did
defense.
draft those players and we did develop those players and then we let them go. But regardless, like we have a history of just getting wide receiver right, occasionally drafting a quarterback to ruin, and failing to really construct a roster around him more or less kind of just construct a roster that's nice to watch. It's fun to watch quarterback throw touchdown to wide receiver lots. Like that instinctively is something that fulfills a primal need for us. But it's never like we don't do well in the trenches usually. We don't do well in the secondary usually. We don't do well in the offensive line usually. Like I I don't know. I don't know.
What needs to change here? What's your off-season wish?
That we just start over.
Oh, you want to tear the house down?
At this point,
So that means
it's,
what? Trading who?
if Joe Burrow wants to go, you trade Joe Burrow. And if Joe Burrow wants to go, then no one is safe, I think.
Okay, but your rebuild only starts if Joe wants to go. What if Joe doesn't?
Yes. If Joe doesn't want to go,
Do you also pull the trigger on the whole rebuild thing, or okay, Joe?
on the
Joe
defense,
Burrow
yes.
is
On the defense,
uh,
yes.
okay. At what point do you invest into the defense, though?
But we've already invested in the defense. That's kind of like the thing. I think you're asking a question that doesn't actually have a solution. Because we drafted how many DBs since that Super Bowl run in the first
Yes,
round?
I understand that, but I'm saying free agency or money wise, even retaining, you mentioned that you developed some of the talent and you let them go. Now, this
Yeah.
year, it's looking like Trey Hendrickson is going to go.
Yes, he's gone.
At
And
what
I
point do you actually invest not only a draft pick in there, but at what
we're the
point do you
Bengals. We
invest
don't do
actual
that.
money in it?
We
Okay,
don't do
so no
that.
money. So
We
no
don't do
money.
that.
Okay.
I'd love it, but we don't do that. So no. That's why I'm saying you're proposing a question that doesn't actually have a solution that the Bengals are willing to follow through on.
Well, at some point, Joe Burrow probably goes in there and he says, guys, I need a roster or it's time for me to go. And I understand that then you can say, okay, then let him go. But there's more to it than that. Like, let's not forget the Bengals are, for all intents and purposes, as we've discussed, one of the, if not one of the, not cheapest, but one of the poorest franchises in the NFL, if not the poorest. So
Sure.
if you don't get butts into seats, I don't know if that's a great recipe long term for your revenue. So you need Burrow to put butts into seats. That seems to be like the deadline. Then you need to look at, okay, if I continue in this path and I lose Burrow, isn't it best for me to invest in actual good talent from free agency, make a move, make a trade to get a guy in? That probably helps you more, even if you have to pay right now. That probably gets you more than just losing Joe Burrow and having no butts into any seats. Because then, if you lose Burrow, you probably lose Chase, and then it's a snowball. It's a little bit of a snowball in there. But Jets fans are salivating for this.
Yeah.
They are thinking it's their time to have a shiny new toy.
I mean, Brees Hall would be probably the best. Well, no, not probably. He would be the best running back that Joe's ever had, technically, I guess.
He's also technically free agent. So.
Mm-hmm.
But they're thinking, I have a lot of first round picks that the Bengals might like. How many first would you need to move Joe Burrow?
Oh, jeez.
Are we talking Herschel Walker type deal? Move Burrow.
I'm gonna have to get reminded on the Herschel Walker trade.
So Herschel Walker, he got moved for. Oh, where's the thing? Where's the trade? And he got moved to Minnesota. What
a total
was
of
it?
18 players and draft picks between 3 teams.
Yes. They got 5 players and 6 future draft picks.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Honestly.
That has been the most that I've ever like from that point forward, that's the most that I think anyone has paid for a player. I don't know, maybe the Saints move for was it Ricky Williams? I think it was Ricky Williams as well. When the Saints moved for him, I think that was also a haul, if I'm not mistaken. So when he moved from no, wait, when the Saints traded him, was that it? For 4 draft picks, including 2 first round picks. Yeah, maybe that's what I'm thinking about. Ricky Williams. So, okay, so you want 5 first round picks for Joe Burrow, basically. I think Jets fans would be happy to give you that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, their ability to draft a QB, not the best, I would say. But then, why would you want picks? Because you just said that the only thing that you actually draft well is wide receivers. So
why would I want picks for us to fuck up?
yes. Putting it bland, that's it.
Because it's the only plausible solution.
Okay. The picks will be ruined, but it's a means to an end.
If you're not willing to spend money, then you have to acquire picks. That's the long and the short of it. Like, there's no other like. Yeah,
That's it.
that's it. Like
that's it. Simple as. Okay. So
I know we're
that's
like
the season
against
done.
firing people here in the Bengals organization, but I do think.
Oh yeah, that's a big no-no. Firing people is a big no-no.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's allowed in Cincinnati.
It wouldn't surprise me if it's actually shadow banned. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that usually gets you in big trouble. Big trouble.
Big trouble. Yeah. If you.
So you never see it happen.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, exactly. That requires money.
Okay, so that's an end. There's another team that came to an end this week. Some say it's an end of a dynasty, even. So the Chiefs are now eliminated from the playoffs. Mahomes is eliminated for the next probably 9 to 10 months. Because, well, he tore his ACL and a few more things in his knee. So that's not great. And that's it. The Chiefs are absolutely done at this point. And what comes next for the Chiefs dynasty? Because Mahomes probably back by the start of next season. If not, he misses like 2-3 game stops. Kelsey, when he was at the podium talking and he was giving the interview, it was like, yeah, I hope Mahomes comes back and the Chiefs have him for the long term.
Chiefs.
So the Chiefs, which makes me think it's either he knows that he won't come back because his contract is also up, if I'm not. He knows that they're not bringing him back, or that he's retiring. One of the two is definitely. So what's without Kelsey, the whole identity of the team kind of gets shifted around. But the thing that is kind of positive for them is that they're probably gonna have a top 15 pick in the NFL. And that gives you some hope on what they can actually do. Do you think this is easily fixable? Do you think this is really the end of the dynasty and it's just like on we move and it's giving way to the new people?
I think it's harder than people are giving it credit for because, like, you have to find a replacement for Travis Kelce. You have to find, and it doesn't necessarily need to be a tight end per se, but it does need to be someone who can be a number one wide receiver or number one target. And I don't know. Is it someone in this draft? Do you think there's a number one target in this draft?
There could be some. I don't necessarily think that they need a new number one because I think that's
Why not?
Shahi's. Because I think that's Rice's role right now. I think
Fair.
Rice is the main guy for them. They have the speed guy mostly settled with Xavier Worthy. They probably need another weapon or two, sure. But I think that can come from a multitude of places. They have a few interesting names at tight end that could take the leap next year.
What would you do? What would you do? Because I know this was floated during the trade deadline. What would you do if the Chiefs signed Breece Hall?
I think that would be great for them, honestly. I think there's another name that could be cheaper for them because I can see Breece Hall go for the big bag, and I could see the Chiefs not wanting to do that at the running back position. Now that they've got from under the Kelsey contract, maybe they could invest somewhere else. I think a name that is maybe a bit more sneaky even, a guy that is a great running back in the league, but it is not having the best of seasons and could sign for cheaper, I think it could be Kenneth Walker. What do you think about that?
No hands?
Buddy, no hands. What are you saying, no hands? The guy, this game, he just caught a pass, lined up in the slot. He ran a slant route and caught a pass in traffic. What do you mean, no hands? Oh my god, dude.
I think he'd just be an upgraded Pacheco.
No, he is an upgraded. You would go to a better situation for him, and I think he would be an all-round back because he has proven. Like last year, he was an all-round back when we were playing and when we were targeting him.
Alex didn't like me calling him no hands.
No, he's not no hands. He is great hands.
Oh man!
Like last year, he was actually. I can just double check it. I don't need to. He had 53 targets, 46 catches in 11 games played last year. Are you kidding me? Like talking about no hands. Come on now, don't disrespect my guy like that. This guy in a good system would be a top 5 running back in the league, but people are not ready for that conversation yet. So,
a lie. Yeah, people are not ready to be lied to.
Hey, you choose to believe what you choose to believe. I don't think they would go for Breece because of the money, but it depends. Like maybe Breece takes a discount to go there. But I could see Brees going to a team who has like a rookie QB, who can invest money on the position, like maybe the Commanders, something along those lines. I could see Brees go to a situation like that, where the team has a lot of money to spend, and it sort of lines up perfectly, because the Commanders still have around 3 years left on Jaden's contract. Maybe they give him a 4-year deal to Brees Hall, and just get the ball moving. Last year is mostly not guaranteed, so they can cut him, have flexibility, be able to do all of that. I think that would make a lot of sense for them. So yeah, I could see him go. Oh, there's a place that he could go that I think everyone would lose their mind and be super against. The Tennessee Titans.
Oh no.
Oh, can you imagine him going to the Titans? I think he's sort of done with losing, but I think the Titans can probably offer him the best package in terms of what he can actually get money-wise.
I mean that holds true for every prospect at this point, or every free agent at this point.
Yeah, I think the Titans would probably they always stuck to me as a team that is very conservative in the gameplay, no matter the coach. I don't know who's coaching them yet. That's probably a big thing. But I would imagine they go with someone that is maybe a bit on the offensive side, but is not a guy that will go out there with a hair raid offense, because that seems to sort of have died down in the NFL. Now it's mostly a run first game.
Plus, it'd be
And
too
they have
fun
an
for
extra. Yes, too fine for the Titans. Titans can't have any of that. Okay. Just from the sense of the guys that were drafted this year that are good or somewhat decent, or that the team will keep investing into, I think they would be a good situation. I think the Saints could be a good situation if their salary cap is somewhat fixed. Yeah.
Oh
Tyler
man.
Chuck is not
Oh,
absolutely
don't do this.
terrible.
Oh my god.
Hey, I'm telling you as it is. Tyler Chuck is not terrible. And
Tyler
outside of
Shuck.
Mendoza, I don't think there's a QB in this upcoming draft class that I'd rather have over Chuck. So,
What if they trade for Shadur Sanders?
oh, buddy, 3 interceptions, Shadur Sanders. All of a sudden, these defenders are talking quite softly right now. I'm not even able to hear them say anything. So sure, yeah, Shadur Sanders, sure, great guy, great passer of the football. Just double checking, great passer of the football. How many yards did he actually pass for? He passed for, I know it was 3 interceptions, which is quite amusing. 177 yards passing. I still don't think there's a single game in which he passed for over 200 yards outside of maybe the first one, because it had a 40-yard screen in it. So
To Dylan Sampson,
hey, but
who I enjoy.
yeah, Dylan Sampson, exactly. But I'm sure this guy with a 30.3 passer rating is very good. The NFL just didn't like him for whatever reason. I don't know. Can't put my finger on it. What a joke. So, hey, there the Chiefs go, and I don't think they're going to be out of the spotlight for all that long. So, I think they'll be back very soon. Very soon. Okay.
I think we're just.
What is next? I was double checking it. What do we have here? Upcoming next. And the Bills. The Bills happened. 21-point comeback from Josh Allen when it was looking very dire for the Bills for a minute there. And this brought up the conversation. Are the Patriots just flawed and overhyped? And I don't think they are. I'll stand by it that I don't think they are flawed or overrated. I think they let that game get away because of inexperience, and I don't think it's going to happen again. They are still a good team in my eyes.
They are still a good team in your eyes.
What do you think?
I think you're crazy.
You wouldn't pick the Patriots to go deep in this playoff run. Are you one of those crazy guys that thinks they will just lose the first game?
Yes, I think they're going to lose the first game they play. Yes. Here's the thing.
You are there so are no
there are no, here's the only reason they wouldn't. There are no teams that like I'm really heavily emotionally invested in. Like I could see every team who makes the playoffs in the AFC make it to the Super Bowl. I see your case for all of you. Like, so, yeah, no. Like, would it shock me if the Patriots lost in the first round of the playoffs after their bye? No, would it? Like, why would it for you? Why are you confident? Why are you confident selecting a rookie quarterback in his first playoff game?
Because I think they're actually a very solid team. They're not a team.
He's a sophomore, but still,
he's a sophomore.
Yeah,
and they won't probably
I'll put some respect on that. But
it looks like the Broncos will get a bye here.
Okay, so he'll play. Go on, sorry.
Yes. I just think like the team is very well constructed. It's a very all-around solid team. The run game is on point. We usually see teams like this going far in the playoffs. Teams that are well coached. They get the details right. The defense is solid. They can run the football. This is the recipe for success in the NFL. Like, the QB doesn't make mistakes at all. Like, he's very consistent in his play. A loss doesn't change my opinion on the Patriots. I think the Patriots are still one of the most complete teams in football. They're not as complete on defense as the Broncos, as the Texans, but I think on offense they have a bit more zip. The Broncos are starting to showing me something that is a bit different, but they're not far off from the Broncos.
4 quarters of good football together.
What?
The Broncos can't put 4 quarters of good football together.
I don't know about that. Didn't they just put up a good 4 quarters of football versus the Packers? Or weren't it 4? Because I think it were 4. Like, they were consistent all the way through. Like, for a while there, it looked like Bo Nix really couldn't play until the end of the 4th quarter. And now Bo Nix has, like, sneakily been good, like,
I'll give them
all around the game.
They got shut out in the first. But I'll give them. That's the closest thing they've come to playing 4 quarters of good football.
But the Packers scored 3 points.
I'll give it to you.
What's the point? The Packers scored 3 points. I'm not even seeing time of possession, but the way that these two teams played, maybe they had the possession each. Like, yeah. What's the point in here?
I'm just saying. I'm not confident in the Broncos.
I think the Broncos are, again, one of the best 3 teams in the league right now.
Like, once we get to the playoffs and we have to do our playoff predictions, I have no fucking idea what I'm going to predict or do. I'm just going to give you that right now.
I'll tell you right now, I'm not picking the Bills. And I think that's going to be an issue now. Because I think the Bills, the way that they play, there's only so much... There's only so many times in which you can be in a scenario in which you're down 2-3 scores and come back from. And when the playoffs come, I don't think that's possible at all. And they just get into those situations. The Chiefs are the Chiefs. They have the best player in the planet and the best coach in the planet. Here you have a guy that is very good, but has not proven it yet, winning the big one. And he has a coach that keeps bringing him down because the coach is not that good. So I don't think
down.
Yeah, and I think part of the reason as to why they're not making it through is because of Sean McDermott. And I think it ends this season. Because right now you have no more excuses. Like, the excuse has always been, and that's the piggyback that you get. Every time that the Bills lose, it's Mahomes. It's the kryptonite. It's Mahomes.
Well, they
is too
lost
good,
to
man.
Joe
That's why.
Burrow and the Bengals too, but go on.
Yes, but usually it's the Chiefs. They can beat the Chiefs. They can beat Mahomes. They've tried at home. They tried away. They just can't. And that's always the excuse that they have. That's always the card in Sean McDermott's back pocket and the Bills fans' back pocket
Sean
is that
McDermott's back pocket.
he
Go on.
wins a lot of games in the regular season, but when you go to the playoffs, hey, you face the Chiefs, it's over. There's no Chiefs anymore. So if he doesn't go out there and he doesn't win the AFC, I think it's time to clean the room. It's time to look at those guys and say, okay, thank you for your service. Don't be like the Bengals. Don't be like the Steelers right now. It's time for a change. Make the change. Sometimes it's not that you're not getting good results consistently. It's that a change of scenery is necessary. And here it's necessary because this guy is not a Super Bowl winning head coach, unfortunately for them. At this point, he's not an AFC winning coach. So
what I learned is you're hating on the Bills now. Who are the only like form of consistency we have left.
yeah, because consistently not making it to the Super Bowl.
Oh my!
That's for sure.
I'll give you that. I set myself up for that one. That was a pretty good take of that opening. I'll give you that.
You gave me the layup, Angelo. We don't miss layups over here.
Well, you do. I don't. But
No.
Our betting records say otherwise. But
yeah. Why you had to bring it up? Why you had to bring those things up? It's a season of joy. Why are we talking about records? Come on now.
You're lucky I'm kind of sick and I don't have the same bravado I usually do.
Seek Angelo, best Angelo. Let's go.
For you.
Yes.
Man. Anyway.
Okay. I think the final take in the final game that we need to talk about before going into the picks is the Miami Dolphins and Tua. After a very lackluster game in which they basically got knocked out of the playoffs with this loss. Very bad game again from Tua. Tua in the cold, it's maybe like, I don't know if there's anyone more afraid of anything than Tua is. No, I'm not gonna say it. I had a joke, but it's not a joking matter, so I won't say it. But Tua
joke about CTE.
No, I cannot either confirm or deny. I believe that's how they say it in your country. So that's what I'm gonna say. That's what I'm gonna say here. Cannot confirm or deny any of it. So yeah, the Tua season is over. They're turning to Quinn Ewers, not Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson is the number 2 right now. So he still has a chance.
Tua number 2, all right.
Yes, but Tua has been relegated to number 3. And the decision is going to come next year. I don't think Mike McDaniels is getting fired. So if he's not getting fired, I don't think you come back from benching your like $50 million QB a year into giving him his contract. So now the team has a decision to make. What are they doing with Tua? Because Tua is not going to sit in the bench, like getting paid $50 million per year. So I don't think that's going to happen. If they cut him next year, I was opening up here his contract. He has a $56 million cap hit next year. If they choose to cut him next year, they are looking at so you're looking at a $99 million cap hit if you cut him.
That's a third of the salary. For those of you at home,
if you trade him, which I also don't think you're gonna get, this is all pre-June 1st. So if you trade him, you save. Yes, if you trade them, you save around $11 million in cap. But then the team trading for him is trading for a massive contract, and they basically have no say in what this contract actually just is looking like. So they just have to bite the bullet on that. A post June 1st trade would look okay because you're saving like $43 million. You're having a $31 million cap hit, debt cap hit on 2027. So you split the both. But this has been done before with the Broncos and the Russell Wilson saga, in which they just released them post June 1st, and that's it. And this sort of scenario, you basically will be on the hook for an additional 11 million. So the debt cap hit is 67 million versus the 56.4 cap hit that he currently has for next year. And then you have a debt cap hit of 31 million in 2026. So you spread the hit. I mean, I think the route of the Broncos is looking quite successful right now. You cut the guy, you're in salary cap hell for a season or two, you have to play a bunch of kids from the draft. Maybe you find a few gems like the Broncos did in front of him. For example, Jonathan Cooper, for example, he's a great case of success for them. Maybe you just do that, try to find some talent and move from there. What would you do in this situation?
I think sometimes the best option is to rip the Band-Aid off. I think if you cut Tua, you essentially also have to cut or get rid of McDaniels. I think there's no way around that.
But at this point, McDaniels, the players are playing for him. Like, the team hasn't give up on him. So at what point do we think that it's actually okay to do that? And just like, if the players still like the coach and are still playing for the coach, at some point we have to be like, okay, so the coach is staying for sure. Let's try to figure out the rest. It's one thing if you had lost the locker room.
I don't think owners. I think losing the locker room is a convenient excuse for an owner to cut a coach they are already going to coach. I don't think the losing the locker room argument is actually something an average owner cares about. That's my hot take.
I don't know. I feel like he has done enough in the end. Like, this situation at a point in there was looking bleak. Like, the defense was not moving the football. The offense really couldn't do anything with the football at any point. Everything was looking very bleak at a point in there. So, at what point do we just look at this and be like, okay, he got this crappy ass situation with a bunch of injuries and a bunch of underperforming players on offense. And he turned this around into a team that was actually fighting for a playoff spot late into the season. Like, the players never gave up on him. At some point, I think that needs to be considered. Otherwise, like, the image that you're passing to the outside is what? Is that you had this coach, you gave him all this, okay, you can do, like, you have the personnel that you want, we're running your scheme. But like, yes, you're firing him because he had a season in which started terribly because of injuries and because of underperformances. He lost his star wide receiver during this season. I don't know. I don't see how you fire that guy and you have a positive, like, you're seen positively by head coaching candidates. Like, McDaniels, okay, you can say that he has underperformed or underachieved the expectations of the Dolphins, but the Dolphins at no point were ever considered the best team in their own division. And that's not because of them. That's because of the other pieces in the division. So I think the Bills, I mean, for the most part, they've always been there. The Patriots, you started with Mac Jones had a few good years in there. Now they're looking back on the up and up. The Dolphins just never got there. They were a threat in the playoffs, but the main cog was always Tua. And that's the main thing. In their big issues was always Tua. And I guess the main thing against McDaniels is that he never made an offense work without Tua. Everything looked terrible. So maybe this is his audition. He has 3 games to work an offense without Tua. If he can do that, then let's see what we actually have in store here. Because to be fair, this is the first time in which he actually has a QB that has any sort of... No, it's not that he has a QB. It's a QB that has any sort of margin of progress on this offense. It's not an old dude. It's not a guy that doesn't fit the system. Like, Quinn Ewers could actually fit the sort of system. And he has some margin of progression. He's a young guy. He is not one of those retirees that has been playing for Miami recently. So I think Mike is going to stay, because I also don't think the Dolphins fire their coaches all that often. And because I think he deserved it. I think... Yes, they're the Bengals of Florida.
Bengals of Florida. That's pretty rough, buddy.
Okay. Now, yes, I see you're making trades. You're not trading me what I wanted. That's sad. That's unfortunate. In our league, you're stabbing me in the back. I'm not liking it,
Stabbing you in the back? What?
Yes, I thought we had something going here. Everything was looking fine and dandy. And now you're doing this to me, Angelo.
Stabbing you in the back.
This is just sad. Sad coming from you. Very sad.
This guy, you're stabbing me live. Listen, he accepted the deal while we were recording, okay?
That's just sad that you even sent it.
That I even said. You gonna push that one through, buddy?
No, never.
Okay.
Never gonna catch me doing any of those things. Never. I'll push it in a minute.
Mm-hmm. Now here's my
Okay,
question.
are we going?
How does that work for Sleeper? Because here, maybe we can answer a question for anyone who has fantasy. Blake Corum has played, Breece Hall has not. So how does that work? Do I actually get both points for Blake and Breece this week?
Did you start Blake?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you'll keep his points. He's not moving your roster until next week when the roster is unlocked.
Oh, it doesn't happen
So
immediately?
yes. No. I can push it right now and you can see. You will keep Blake Corum in his spot until next week when the spot's unlocked. Because he has played.
And
so
then I can play Breece. Perfect.
Yes, and you can play Breece.
So double points.
You fooled the system.
I did. I fooled the system to get an advantage. To get an advantage.
And now you should be trading for Derrick Henry. That's the thing that you need. Otherwise, you're starting Pop Douglas. And like no one in the world needs to start Pop Douglas. That feels like intentionally wanting to lose.
Anyway, go on with your saying. Sorry. Fantasy aside.
No. I think we just should go. What do you do? So you think they should just fire both guys?
I do.
You throw Tua to the sun, and you just throw McDaniels into a pile of coke.
Pretty much, yeah. Let him.
Okay.
Let him do what he loves. You know.
That just sounds so bad. Because the guy is a former addict. Like the guy is in recovery. Jesus Christ. Let him do what he likes. Jesus. Okay. I think McDaniels should stay. I think it's time to move off from Tua. But he should only stay if he gets a competent offense moving. With Ewers or Zach. If the offense even looks competent, which has been a test without Tua, I would just keep him. Because I don't think you're changing it for the best at this point. All right. So are we jumping straight into the picks?
I guess so, buddy. I guess so.
Oh, Austin is making noise. Austin is not having any of this. He's not happy. He is a mad lad right now.
He knows I played the system.
You played the system. Did you even offer the trade today or was it yesterday?
I offered it today.
Oh, you
I offered
sneaky bastard.
I offered
Oh,
the I offered a different trade yesterday or 2 days ago. He countered it, and then I countered that today.
okay. That's very sneaky of you. And the price is also quite cheap, to be honest.
I like
First
Brees a
and
lot.
big form.
Like, to be
I
honest, like I got 3 first for the dude, and I traded him back for 1 first. Like,
well,
you
quorum
take
is
it.
right around the first at this point.
I agree. That's fair.
Yeah.
I didn't want to trade Corum, but he wasn't going to move Brees without him. So you do what you got to do. You know what I mean?
Everyone loves my guy quorum. I drafted
Yeah.
the dude. He's
Yeah.
one of
I
mine.
traded a first for him.
Fortunately, he's a little bit of a Rams bitch. Yeah, he's not Puka bitch. So I guess that's the one thing that we didn't talk about. Like, so is Puka Nakua is just the next Antonio Brown?
He's going that path. Yeah.
He's speed running that path, dude. Let's put the right amount of connotation in that one. He's speed running that bitch at this point. Because now I'm hearing him say that concussions aren't real. I think you're living proof that they're real, my guy. I know what you're on about there, buddy, but I think it's very clear that concussions might be real after all. So hey, just
As long
never
as the
go on
Rams are
those
good.
streams, guys.
As long as the Rams are good, no one's gonna care what it does. It's just
I hope the refs heard what he said about them. Don't take that disrespect, guys. Make sure they know that you're seeing it. Just make sure. Hey, they partly did. There were a few calls that went very much our way in there, so that's good. That's always good.
you mean how you guys played 3 bad quarters of football and then still ended up winning a game?
That's just the
I'll give you
team being
credit.
good.
I'll give you
I
credit. That is
understand
very
that you're
Chiefs-like of you.
not used to
That
that.
was very Chiefs-like of you. I will give you that. That's a good
I
sign. That's a good
understand.
sign.
I understand that you have not seen a good team play in a while.
Oh
So
no.
that's what good teams do. They beat adversity. And that's what we did. We picked ourselves up and we moved along. Okay? Now it's time to jump into the picks. Done with all of that
Yeah,
talk.
we got the bravado back a little bit now. It's time to do what I do best and beat
No,
up
it's
Alex on the
back.
picks.
Oh, he's ready for it. He's all ready for it.
Go ahead. Give us a summary of last week, Alex.
Summary of last week. It was just a dreadful summary. One of the worst summaries in existence. It was just a terrible, terrible day. Very sad day. Many people were saying it. Even ESPN was saying it. Sad day for both of us. So you went. So there were no buys. So you went 6-10. I went 5-11. Very, very bad. Somehow worse, for sure. Somehow worse. A couple bad breaks in there for both of us. But it happens. It's football. I still don't know how I lost the Patriots being underdogs in that game. After being up 21 points in the fourth quarter. Maybe a few bad picks by me. With hey, the Eagles just beating a bad team. Now wanting credit for it. And you getting a few for sure going your way as well. And then we went terrible in the late slate. Like we didn't get any of the primetime games right in the end. We didn't get Dallas right because 9 happened. We didn't get Miami right.
Happened.
The only game that either of us got right on primetime was the Thursday Night Football, and I got that one right. I got with Atlanta, and Atlanta beat the brakes out of Tampa Bay. Not really. Tampa Bay just choked the lead, a massive lead. So everyone was upset about that. Okay. Overall records right now, you are 112 and 113. So not 500 yet. A game under it. And I am 98 and 127, which probably not great. I think I'm a few games under 500. There you go. You accepted my trade. See, everything is fine in this world. Okay, so that's the recap, Angelo. We move on to the next week. I am running out of games to surpass you.
You're not going to surpass me, buddy. You're about to be you're going to continue the never-ending losing streak of losing to me year after year after year after year after year. I think we're on year 3. I'm approaching Roman Reigns' title run. That's how
I
long
am
my
14 games behind, and I have 3 weeks to make it. So we go. Thursday Night Football. I don't even think we needed to tweet that out. I was on the Hawks, obviously, and Angelo hates the Hawks. So he was on the Rams, and he took the L. That's another Thursday Night Football win on my book. And now we move to the rest of the games. So Saturday games are back. That's fun. Only one game. No, actually 2 games. This Saturday. So you have, I guess you get to start this one because Thursday Night Football is usually my lane. So now you get to go.
I think this is obvious. I told you that the Eagles were gonna do the get right game, and then they got right. You know what time it is? It's the Eagles' time. It's time for Jaden Daniels to get sacrificed to that Eagles defense, and it's time for the Eagles to clinch their division. So, ta-da! Eagles time.
Ta-da! That's just it. Simple as.
Simple as, yeah. Eagles time.
Okay. Eagles. So, did you say the line? Or did I miss that?
Oh, I did not say the line. I usually say that.
Say the line, Angelo.
The Eagles are favored by 6.5 points. The Commanders are at home. I'm taking the Eagles.
Hey, if I have to lose 17 games on the Eagles, which I haven't, because I've got some of them right, but if I have to lose a lot of games for the Eagles, I'll lose all the games to the Eagles. So, you already know, I can't beat those frauds. So, I guess I'll just take I feel as good about this pick as I felt about last week's pick, in which I picked the Raiders versus the Eagles. But I guess I'm going Washington plus 6.
I still can't believe you're so lowly and just the scum of the earth. Like, it doesn't matter how much you think the Eagles are going to win. It doesn't matter if you think the line is an easy line for the Eagles to cover. You're still going to be like, fuck the Eagles. I don't like anything about the Eagles. I'm going to go the opposite side despite my better judgment. Like,
they are like, if I went against it, then you would say I just don't trust my convictions, the truth of your convictions. So,
but
what
you
is
don't
it,
trust
Angelo?
but you don't trust the truth of your convictions because you think the Eagles can cover these spreads, and you're still going against them.
Yeah. Last week it was double-digit spreads. Like, the Eagles are not that easily covering double-digit spreads. Let's be clear about that one.
Okay.
And here,
you believe it.
Hey, here I think 6.5. The Commanders always play the Eagle tough. I know they have nothing to play for anymore. Jaden Daniels is out right now. No Zach Ertz. I understand all of that, but again, in division games late into the season, it's one of those things that this can go either way. I have a touchdown here to cover me, basically. I think I'm going to be okay. I think the Eagles win, for sure. Would be very bad for them if they don't win. Like, that would be absolutely terrible. Would just show how bad of a team they are. They surely can't lose this game. It's almost impossible for that. So I'm going to go with the Commanders, thinking absolutely the Eagles are going to win this.
Okay.
I'm not trying to throw any bad juju on them, not trying to do any of it. Just being frank, I think they are much better team than the Commanders. They should absolutely win this game. I would be completely shocked if they don't win this game. Being frank. Fuck the Eagles. Okay. Next up, I have the Green Bay Packers going to the Chicago Bears. Bears are 1.5-point underdogs in this one. I think simple as I will go with the Bears to cover this line. I know it's the Packers. This basically implies that the Bears need to beat the Packers, which is like almost never been done before at this stage. They played a couple of weeks ago. The game was super close. Got into the game super late for Caleb because that's the Caleb way. And they were a touchdown away from winning it. I think if they're in the same situation again, they probably scored the touchdown. They go for 2, and then even if they don't get the 2, I cover this line. So I do think it's going to be an incredibly close game. I'm going to go with the points here, and I'm going to go with the home team. I think the Bears probably win this game. If not, they're going to lose it on the last play of the game, try to go for 2 and win it sort of situation, because they're aggressive like that. So
Packers are just coming off an L against the Lions. The Packers, own the Bears. I'm going with the Packers here. I'm taking the Packers. Easy as. I know Mike is out. I know there's honestly a lot of really good reasons to go with the Bears. But I have a feeling that the Bears are going to regress to the mean. And it's time to choke. And it is choke time for the Bears. So give me the Packers. We're going to move on.
There's Stiffy time and there's chokey time.
Yep.
That's what you're saying.
Next up, we got the Buccaneers going to Carolina. The Buccaneers are favored by 3.5. I actually really like the Panthers. The Buccaneers collapse has been historic. You would think that this should be an easy Bucs because the Bucs are now finally starting to get healthy. They got their weapons all there. They got Chris Godwin. They got Mike Evans. They got Emeka Ibuka. They got Bucky Irving. They're all there. It's all fine. Everything's shiny and new, it seems. But I think this is, once again, a prime disappointment spot for the Bucs. So I'm picking the disappointment and going with the Panthers.
I think I'm right there with you. These teams are closer than what people want to give them credit for. Like, the Bucs have been playing terrible football. They just choked the game versus the Falcons. I think maybe this could actually be a spot in which they bounce back. But at this point, like, all that I'm looking at, like, I'm looking... It could be the get right game. You have the mini bye in there in which they played on Thursday Night Football. The Panthers played on Sunday, so maybe you could make the argument there. I just think that these teams are so close at this point. Like, DVOA, you're looking at a team that is ranked around 22. In the Buccaneers, the Panthers are 25th, so they're incredibly close. I'm getting a field goal. I'm playing at home with the Panthers. I just think it's going to be a game in which it's going to come down to the wire. And at this point, the Panthers aren't making as many mistakes offensively. And dare I say, Bryce Young is maybe playing a bit better than Baker Mayfield. I think I have a better defense with the Carolina Panthers. So I'm just going to go with the Panthers plus 3.5. Simple as. Next up, I have the Buffalo Bills at the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are 10.5-point underdogs in this game. And I don't know. I keep saying every single week, hey, I'll take the Browns because the defense. And then they allow 30 points and they score 3 on offense. I think I'm out of excuses for the Browns. Even playing at home, the defense hasn't been playing as great as they once have. They are clearly focused in only one thing, which is getting the sack record for Myles Garrett, which I think is a sack away right now.
He's going to get it, absolutely.
So, yeah, I wouldn't even be shocked if it's this game. So that's going to happen. I think I'm just going to go with... The one thing that scares me is that Buffalo is coming off of a high in that game that they beat the Patriots.
Yep.
Could that have an impact here? Could they come out flat like we've seen them play flat before versus the Miami Dolphins, for example? Could this be a spot? Maybe I could see this game going in a way in which I could see one scenario in which this game goes. They try to lean a bit much on Josh. Josh makes a few mistakes. The Browns run the football all game long, milk the clock all the way around. The Bills really can't stop the run. That's still their Achilles heel. And it's just a game in which the Bills have very little possession here. And all of a sudden, the Browns, you're looking at it, and the Browns are up like 14-7 going into the last quarter. And maybe the Bills win then, but can they cover a 10-point spread going into the fourth quarter when they're down 7? I don't know if that's possible, but that's really the only scenario. And I don't think the Browns defense has been playing good enough for that to happen. So I'll take the Bills, but I'm split. It would be the third game in which I pick the Browns and they would mess with me. So I want to avoid that. But I could see the scenario in which this plays out and it's a mess.
Yeah, so we're going to call it a disappointment game. This is the situation. The Browns literally have no stakes. This is the situation the Browns play well in. When the stakes are at their least existent. So we're going to go the Browns here. I do think the Bills are going to win. Like, it would shock me if the Browns won here, but 10.5 points. I think that's too much. I think that there's a chance Shadur has a better game than he had last game. Jeez, granted, I don't think there's much worse. But no, I think you got the right scenario. Quishon Junkins is a good running back. You lean on the ground game. You take Shadur out of it. You rely on the defense. Josh tries to do too much. Maybe you get a turnover or two. You stifle James Cook, and you stay in this game. Like, you got it. You got it just right. I'm picking the Browns. Next up, we have the LA Chargers going into Dallas to face the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are favored by 1.5 points. I understand why Dallas is favored. They kind of need this game for any, like, yeah. They basically need to win out. And the Eagles need to lose out. But again, 1:00 game, they usually disappoint on primetime. I do think the Chargers are going to win this game. So I'm going to go with the Chargers, plus 1.5. This Cowboys team has just been so up and down, dude. Like, I'm tired of riding the roller coaster. Give me the Chargers. I'm off the roller coaster.
No, I feel like I'm also split here. And I don't know which team, because the Chargers, since the injury, since the offensive line, they haven't played amazing football. The defense has been solid, but on offense, it's more a lot of things happening that they are just being able to work around and being able to get away with some of them. For example, versus the Chiefs, super low scoring game. The offense really didn't produce a whole lot, but the Chiefs were kind of bottled up. I think the Chiefs probably win that game with a late comeback drive if Mahomes is healthy. Versus the Eagles, offense really didn't do all that much, but the Eagles just completely fumbled it. And yeah, that went all the way around to a Chargers win. I can see the Dallas Cowboys just showing up for this game. It's at home. I can see this being a letdown spot for the Chargers. Chargers just beat their biggest like hill that they ever had to climb in the Chiefs. They managed to sweep them. They managed to eliminate them from the playoffs. I could see this being a scenario in which they just come out flat. It's very similar to the Buffalo Bills. But here I have 1.5 points, and I'm at home with the Dallas Cowboys. I have a very good offense still going for me. I don't think so. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with the Dallas Cowboys. I think they need to win out. I think winning this division is a mirage at this point because they would need the Commanders to beat the Eagles twice, and that's never gonna happen, obviously. So yeah, I think it's a mirage, but they still have playoff aspirations at this point. So they need to stay in it. They need to win the games, and I think they're gonna do just that. I think they're gonna win this game. So okay, next up, it's your Cincinnati Bengals going to the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are a 1.5 point favorites in Quinn Ewers' debut right now. I think this line has shifted all the way around to Sunday because I'm now seeing 2.5 for Miami. Because of that alone, I think it's two teams that are not playing for anything, but Burrow is still playing. I don't know if T is going to go. I don't know about his situation with the concussion. I would imagine that he's not going because that's the second concussion in like 3 weeks. So he missed last week. I wouldn't be surprised if he misses another week. I'm going to go with Cincinnati purely because the line has shifted so much and I don't know what to expect from Ewers. So, and the track record, to be frank, with Miami, and every time they play QB not named Tua, it's going to go awfully. So I'm just going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals.
I'm going to go with Miami. New quarterback. Fresh quarterback, the logic I've been using all year. I think the hype is done. I think the Bengals are about to regress to the mean, and we're going to see if we can get ourselves a top 5 pick, I guess. Isn't that sad? Next up, Tank Bull at its finest. The New York Jets head into New Orleans to face the Saints. The Saints are favored by 4.5. There are no winners in this game.
Only us that get to see Tyler Chuck.
I'm going with the Jets.
I think I'm going to go with the better QB. Like, the Saints team has been freaky. They went out there and they beat 2 teams that are competing to be in the playoffs in back-to-back weeks. In the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers.
That's why you go with the Jets.
I just can't see it, man. I think the QB is playing well enough for this sort of standard. I think the offense is moving the ball along. I think Kellen Moore has done some interesting things here. And on the other side, I still think it's going to be Brady Cook. And Brady Cook doesn't cook, mate. He left the pans at home. Like, he is absolutely god-awful. So I'm going to go with the Saints on this one. He left them all at home, baby. All of them. So I'm just going to go with the Saints here. Give me the Saints. They're favorite, but I'll heed it. They've been winning games. So just going to go with the Saints. -4.5.
Left the Pans.
Yeah. Okay, after that, I have the Minnesota Vikings going to New York to face the Giants. The Giants are 2.5-point underdogs in this game. 2.5. Which way am I going to go on this one? Have we seen 9 turn it around enough that I can trust this moving forward? I think I'll revert back to what is the best unit on the field. And I think it's the Minnesota Vikings defense. And heck, maybe the best second unit is the Minnesota Vikings offense. So I'll just take Minnesota. Give me the -2.5. They will run the ball at will. And I think when that happens, 9 gets way too comfortable. So 9 is gonna happen, and 9 is gonna show. It's not gonna be JJ McCarthy. It's 9.
Give me the Vikings. I think I agree with you on that. The Giants looked like a sneaky team to pick at the start of the year. They've kind of been beaten down by being the Giants. I think they've accepted that they're the Giants. But regardless, yeah, give me Minnesota.
They could be an interesting situation in which they are the number 1 pick. And then you have the decision, like, do you stick with Dart or what are we doing?
Yeah.
I think they should set with Dart, but it heavily depends on how they feel about Mendoza. So.
I think there's a chance you see the 101 get traded down. Regardless. Kansas City heads into Tennessee to face the Titans, and here's how bad the Titans are. Kansas City is favored by 3.5 points. Give me the. I know the logic is new quarterback.
Come on now. Are you fading your own logic on this one?
I might have to fade my own logic on this one, yes.
To pick the Tennessee freaking Titans, mate.
Yes, to pick the Tennessee Titans. Give me the Titans here.
Oh, God. Give me the Chiefs. Everyone praises Gardner Minshew so much when he's the backup. But whenever he gets to start, apparently he's the best backup ever, except when he needs to start. So when he needs to start, he's absolutely god-awful. I don't get it. I'll just take the Chiefs. Yeah. Again, I'll go by what's the best unit. It's the Chiefs defense. They'll hold him to 10 points. Can Minshew score me 13? I think he might be able to versus this defense. So,
he needs to score more than 13.
I don't think he needs to score more than 13.
For you to cover, he does.
No, I don't think. I think Tennessee might just score like 7. I don't know if Tennessee can get me to 10.
Okay, if you say so, buddy.
I'll take the 3.5. Give me the KC.
Okay.
Okay, Atlanta Falcons at the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona is 2.5 point underdogs in this game. I don't see a plus next to Atlanta Falcons number, so I won't take the Falcons. Simple as. Give me the Cardinals plus 2.5. I think the Cardinals win this game outright, so hey, what do I know?
Give me the Falcons here. I think this is absolutely what the Falcons don't need. So I'm going with that.
Simple as.
Simple as.
Drake London is back this week.
That too. Oh, this is an easy one for me too. Jacksonville Jaguars head into Denver to face the number 1 seeded Broncos. The Broncos are 3.5 point favorites. It's been a while since I've been on the Jaguars train. I guess it's time to hop back on. Give me the Jaguars plus 3.5.
Buddy, why are you picking frauds all of a sudden? I
Picking.
have maybe the best team in the NFL here. I'll take 3 points versus the Jags. Playing at home, sure. Give me the Broncos minus 3.5.
I think there's a higher than 50% chance the next time we do this, you're talking about how the Denver Broncos are frauds. So
I think they win this game by 14, roughly. So I don't understand this line. What do the Jags do better than the Broncos? Because I can't think of a single thing that they do better. Yeah, they do a lot of bullshit. That's the one thing. Because defensively, I mean, even the strongest suit of the Jags, which is run stopping, I still feel like the Broncos can give you a run for your money there. And then on the secondary, they have a lockdown corner. The Jags don't have any of that. The Jags can still be exploited on the passing game. And then their offense is just all over the place. Like, Trevor Lawrence is the poor man's version of Sam Darnold still. So I'll just take the Broncos here. Give me the Broncos. They're going to win this. It's at home. It's fine. They're going to be able to take care of this. Okay, next up, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Detroit Lions. The Lions are 7.5 point favorites in this one, and I'm going to go with the Lions all the way to the bank. They need to win out, and I think the Lions are going to just shut all of the Pittsburgh Steelers nonsense happening right now. People are thinking that the Pittsburgh Steelers all of a sudden are a decent team. I still think they're a majorly flawed team. It's not because you're beating Miami in bad weather that you can be considered a good team. I don't think that's ever gonna happen. I think they are a bang on average team, and I think the Lions, the offense is gonna show up. The defense is getting a bit better at times. Heck, I know they come off of a loss versus the Rams. I think this is the bounce back spot, and they probably don't lose another game the rest of the way.
I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh plus 7.5. I think that the Steelers are about to start one. I think they're going to win the division, Alex. I think the
They're not
Steelers are
gonna
going to win.
win.
I think the
Heck,
Steelers are going to win
unless
the
it's by
division.
default. I
I
wouldn't be
think
shocked if, like, who do the Steelers still face? They face the Browns and the Ravens. The last game is going to decide the division.
yes.
It's going to be just
Unless
that.
the Steelers can win this game right here. And
They're
then they
not going
play
to
the
win
Browns
this game.
to decide the division. Think about it. Think about it.
That's not going to happen. They won't even beat the Browns. So what are we doing?
Stop this. Holy crap. The Raiders head into Houston to play CJ Stroud. The CJ Stroud led Texans. Say it, Alex. CJ Stroud led.
The defense led Texans.
Oh my God. The Texans are 14.5-point favorites. And usually with a number like that, I would consider it. The problem is I'm pretty sure that the Raiders are an all-time bad offense. So like even if
Texans
you
have a
want to
great defense.
even if against an all-time great defense. Even if you want to be like, well, CJ, you want to be like Alex and be like, oh, CJ Stroud, he probably can only get to 21. That still covers. Like I don't see the Raiders getting to double digits. So yeah, give me the Texans.
And only get you to 21 if the defense playing the opposite to them is actually a defense and not whatever the Raiders present every single week. I'll also take the Texans minus 14.5 because it's just a terrible offense, especially with Kenny Pickett going versus a formidable defense. And I think we see Woody Marks run the football here 25 times probably. And it's the shortest game of the week. It's going to be over in a zap because they're going to be up early. They're not going to put the ball in CJ's hand to make any sort of mistakes. Just going to run the football all the way to the end zone. Woody Marks probably has a great game coming up here. And they win it. Simple as. I think they probably win this, I don't know, 30-3 or something like this. It's going to be a bloodbath.
Bloodbath, you say?
Yes. After that, we have Sunday night football. We have the Patriots going to Baltimore to face the Ravens. Ravens, off of a nice divisional win, are all of a sudden 2.5-point favorites versus one of the best teams in the NFL.
This is
I
ridiculous.
cannot understand this line for the life of me. Give me the Patriots plus 2.5. The Patriots win this game outright. So I don't know what we're even doing with this sort of line. So the Baltimore Ravens offense is not fixed.
I hope you
Nothing
know if
close to
Baltimore
getting.
loses this game and Pittsburgh win this game, that game against Cleveland is to decide the division.
Pittsburgh is not winning anything, buddy. You can write that in the board or whatever you want to write it in. They're not beating the Lions. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And the Patriots are beating the Ravens.
I hope you
There's no
know
way
if
around
the
it.
Steelers win, that is the audio you're going to be hearing at the start instead of my little rants or
Okay.
diatribes that I used. Okay.
I'll be here for it.
I'm also picking the Patriots. I don't think there's any way the Ravens win this game. Regardless, 49ers heading into Indianapolis to face Geriatric Phil and the Indianapolis Colts. The 49ers are favored by 5.5 points. I have two thoughts on this.
Oh, I smell indecision in the air.
There is a lot of indecision. On one hand, I want to go with my boys and go with the 49ers. Call this a sacrifice of Phillip Rivers incoming. On the other hand, the Colts did look a lot better than they had any right to against your Seahawks. And that said, the first game quarterback jitters are about to wear off and the 49ers are about to sacrifice the Colts. Give me the 49ers.
What jitters? The guy's 50. There's like no jitters anymore. I don't even know if there's movement. So, all of that said, again, I think you made the correct point at the start, which is he looked a bit better than I want to give him credit for. He actually looked halfway decent at some points in there. Plus, the defense played lights out for them. And I think that's always something that we don't take into account too. The offensive line played lights out for him. The defense played lights out to him. I think everything went according to maybe their best game that they could have done there. Now, I don't know if this is a letdown spot. That's the one thing that I'm kind of scared of, that this could be an actual letdown spot. But I kind of want to go with Phillip Rivers because he didn't look halfway bad. So that's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with my guy, Phillip Rivers. He earned my respect. He earned my team's respect. So, and I hope that when it's time for him to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, people remember all the talks that we had this week with Phillip coming back from retirement and how this would impact his Hall of Fame case. And every time he made a pass, everyone would be like, he's the future Hall of Famer. Everyone seems to have decided that he's going to be Hall of Famer, despite not winning a Super Bowl or anything like that. So I hope people remember this in like 5 years from now, that everyone was on board with this guy being an Hall of Famer that just pushed back his eligibility another 5 seasons. So, okay. After that, the only thing that I'm missing that didn't happen last week was the minerals. We forgot the minerals last week. So that's 2 last weeks of minerals. And now we're back with it. I'll give you a brief recap. The last time that we did minerals, I went 1 and 2. You went 0 and 3. I got my bronze pick right, which pushes the records to 4 and 9 on gold for me, 8 and 5 for you. Silver, I have 4 and 9 for me, 8 and 5 for you as well. And the bronze, I'm 7 and 6, and you are 6 and 7. So,
oh boy,
that's the one thing that I'm going for me here. Okay, so give me your bronze, silver, gold, or whichever order you want to give them to me.
I'm gonna go with the disappointment calls that I've had this week. So gold, give me the Browns plus 10.5 points.
Cleveland plus 10.5.
Silver, give me the Panthers plus 3.5.
Carolina plus 3.5.
And for bronze, give me the Jaguars.
Oh, buddy. The Jags.
Plus 3.5.
Plus 3.5 points. Okay. On my end, I'll give you the bronze first. My bronze pick will be the New Orleans Saints minus 4.5. My silver pick will be the Denver Broncos minus 3.5. And finally, my gold pick will be the New England Patriots plus 2.5. And that's it. Do you have anything else to add? Or do you want me to get us out of here, Angelo?
That you're going to continue your never-ending losing streak. And I'm just happy to be part of the never-ending losing streak you're a part of. Buddy.
Okay. So next week we still don't know what we're doing, right? Because it's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
I don't know if there's. It's Christmas next week, so we don't know if there's gonna be a show, right? We're still.
How about we say Merry Christmas and we give ourselves a week off? How about that, buddy?
That could work. Yeah, that could very much work. So, guys,
enjoy the holidays.
Merry Christmas.
You don't have to be in the studios. You know, it's all good. Everyone gets a break from us. You know, it's perfect.
Yeah, I feel like you don't want to get shamed for picking the Jags. That's why. But
I'll wait an extra week to take my victory laps. Don't worry.
There's no laps here to. Okay, so assuming no show, you guys, if you want the picks, just go to our Twitter @NoReservesRadio. All of them will be in there. Yes, all of that will be in there. Everything will be available for you guys to check. So all of that will be good. And yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays. Hope you're doing well in your fantasy leagues. Hope you're going to the
Alex is.
championship. I'm doing okay in some leagues. I still have a lot of hope. In our main league, unfortunately, the run has come to an end. Too many flaws that has been hit. Let's see what happens in the future, and we move from there. Guys, thank you so much for listening to us until right now. If you're enjoying the show, please make sure to leave us a 5-star review, turn on the downloads, and make sure to subscribe to the show as always. Subscribe to us not subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at No Reserves Radio for all the picks and all of the news if everything happens. And on YouTube, I don't even mention the YouTube anymore. Poor guys. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Happy Christmas, happy holiday, and I'll talk to you guys in 2 weeks, apparently. Have a good one.
We'll see you guys.